Okay, you guys, my name is Micah Folsom. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a superstar too. Been coaching almost 7 years, 6-time elite. And I love this business so much. And I love the simplicity of it. So one of the things that I've found my coaches struggle with most, and I feel like coaches have the hardest time getting used to when it comes to the power hour and the daily essentials, is the connecting aspect. So we are going to spend the entire hour expanding our network and connecting. Okay. So I made a little presentation thing to kind of keep us on track. So I'm going to do a little bit of explaining and then we're just going to do a lot of working. Okay. So let me screen share. Tell me if you guys can see this. Can you see my screen? Okay, cool. So expanding and connecting, let's be social. This is the first thing that you guys need to kind of switch your mindset. We are not social media stalking. We are social butterflies right now for the next hour. We want to meet new friends and we want to genuinely connect with new humans, okay? And old humans, all the humans. All right, so before we get started, I want you guys to keep this fun. This is not stressful. This is not overwhelming. This is not hard. We are talking to people, okay? The way that I found joy in this part of the business, because you guys, I am 100% introvert. I am not naturally outgoing. I don't naturally care about what other people are doing. If it wasn't my job, I literally would never get on social media. I wouldn't. I would just like be a hermit in my house with my kids and call it good and probably be depressed, but that's a whole nother story. So I want you guys to keep this fun. And the way that you keep it fun is by finding people who you share common interests with. So when you are searching for your inspo accounts, like I call them, when you're searching from the accounts that you're working from, where their followers are your niche market people, think of outside of Beachbody, what are your interests and hobbies? Homeschooling, home decor, cooking, baking, hunting, makeup, hair, fashion, traveling, motherhood. I mean, there's so many different things, gardening, all of the things that are part of who you are outside of working out and coaching. Those are the things that you're going to try and connect with those other types of people too. Because guess what? If they love gardening, they also need health and wellness. If they love home decor, they also need health and wellness. You know what I mean? So that's the way that you can find more joy in it, is when you have those natural interests and those connections from the beginning. It's going to be a lot easier to just have those casual conversations. Be a kind human. We are not doing this for the next hour. Our agenda is not to make a sale or sign a coach. Our agenda is to make new friends. It's just to genuinely find new people to connect with and be a positive light. Encourage people, be uplifting, make their day better by you leaving a mark on their page, okay? How's your billboard? I just want this to be something that you think about because it's super important. All of the behind the scenes work that is so essential to build the business, it won't work unless your billboard, which is your stories and your actual social media posts, are valuable and solid. Because the second that you shoot a message to someone or the second that you comment on their page, you better believe that they are clicking on your name, going to your page and being like, what's Sarah all about? Who's this Sarah chick? And you have about 3 seconds for them to follow you or for them to bounce from your page. Okay, so make sure, just as you're doing this, if you're doing all this behind the scenes work and your page struggles and you're not sharing consistently and you're not adding value and you're a Beachbody billboard where you're just plastering sales crap all over the place, they will bounce so fast and run for the hills. So you want to make sure what you're putting out there is a solid representation of who you are as a human, not as just a coach, but as a human and individual that wants to connect with other people, okay? Why is this worth it? Why is this worth your time? Uh-oh. Make sure that you mute yourself, you guys. I'll go through. Let's go do that really quick. Why is this worth it? In the grand scheme of things, that's not what I wanted. When you are, how do I do this? Here we go. Hold on. How do I do this? Do I need to stop the share? You guys just mute yourself so that I don't have to like lose my mojo. All right. When you're not making a sale or signing a coach, this is the stuff that builds momentum forever. So like we're not focusing on like what we're doing, what we're making happen today. We're focusing on the longevity of your business. So this is what's keeping the funnel filled. You will never run out of people to connect with and to invite if you're always expanding and connecting every single day. Okay. Obviously, like I'm going to talk about on this slide, this is only one part of the equation, right? We expand so that our well never runs dry. We connect so that we're genuinely building those relationships and taking time to meet new friends and just be interested in their lives. But then we also obviously have to invite, and we have to share this gift with as many people as we can and help them get tied to a solution that's going to change their life. And then obviously follow up, so that our people never get left behind and they know that we are always going to be here for them when they're ready. Okay. So we're going to focus on the first two aspects of the funnel and keeping everything rolling. And that's what we're going to do for the first 10 minutes. So we are going to go expand. And the way that I do this is I work from those solid accounts. So just like I was talking about, maybe it's a local boutique that you love. Maybe it's a brand that you love. Maybe it's just one of your friends who's super into makeup and you just love her page. Whoever you want to work from, that's not important. The person is not your end goal. Their followers are your people. Okay. So their followers are your niche market people that you want to connect with. So go find a few of those solid accounts. Hopefully you already have some, but if you don't, spend this time to find those solid accounts. And then, like I said here, they're your inspo accounts. And then what I do is I click on the most recent picture, go to their comments and their likes on that picture. And we are strictly expanding right now. We are not engaging and sorting and doing anything. We are expanding. So all you're going to do is you're going to click on their picture. You're going to go through the list of followers or the list of commenters. And then from their little profile pic and the blurb of their thing from the list, you're either going to follow them or not. Okay. So I'm giving you 10 minutes for this so that you can find your solid accounts and whatever, but it does not take long to follow 30 to 50 new people. Okay. So we're going to do that. It's 11:07. We're going to do that for the next 10 minutes. And then we will move on to the connecting and sorting and organizing. And I'll talk about that after. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mute and then come back in 10 minutes. Okay. 30 to 50 people. Go follow. Ready, go. Okay, you guys, hopefully you busted through that. That gets easier and easier as you get super clear on the type of people you want to be engaging with. So this is kind of when I feel like I do judge a book by its cover. Like I am solely going off of their profile pic and their name and their little bio. So like I can tell if, like, I love to work, I'm a mom of 4. So that's just who I naturally connect with. So like if I have a picture of a girl with her 3 kids, it's like an instant follow. Like I want to see what you're up to regardless if I ever work with you or not, because we are going to do mom life together, right? So like just don't overthink this process and just really get clear on the type of women that you feel like you vibe with, or men, whoever, the type of people, okay? So now that you've done that, we're going to get organized and connect. So I've explained my process. I explained my process and how I do this last time on the last Power Hour. You don't have to do it like me. That's not what I'm trying to teach you, but you have to have some type of system and some type of flow that when you are expanding, you have to track these people. You have to organize them so that you can then intentionally connect, okay, and build that relationship. So I'm just going to quickly show you how I do this. And we're going to then do this the rest of the time. The last 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to do this and we're going to organize and connect, okay? So what I do is all of those people that you just followed, you can find them super easily by clicking on your following. So you'll go to your homepage and it'll say following, not your followers, the people that you're following. And it'll come up this big list. And then it'll say sort by default. And then there's a little arrow. You click on that little arrow and then it says date followed latest. That will then sort your list so that all of those people that you just clicked follow on come to the top and are all in order. So then at that point, you can organize them, okay? Whether you are organizing them onto a list, pen and paper, whether you're organizing them into a collection, that's the way that I do it on Instagram. You need to organize these people in some way so that you have a flow and have a way to kind of, it's like a holding place so that you can then spend some time really engaging, really connecting, really getting to know them. Okay. I will answer all of the questions at the end also. So I'm not ignoring you, I promise. But if I am looking at the questions and stuff, I'll get squirrel and then it's not productive. So any questions you guys have, make sure you put them in the chat. And then at the end, we'll spend like 5 minutes busting through those. Okay. Hold on. So sort however you'd like. The way that I do it, just in case you don't know, I bookmark an image and then I save it to a collection. And it's so easy. If you don't know how to do it, you can look it up on YouTube or something. I'm sure there's a video, or watch the recording from last week. But basically, every picture has a little bookmark at the bottom right. You would hold that down and then it pops up and it says save to. That's where I save my collection. So the way that I sort, just because it works with my brain, is it's towards the end of January. So right now I'm sorting a March collection. Okay, so I am sorting all the girls that I'm finding these last 10 days of January are going into my March Challenger collection, so that all of the rest of January and every single day in February, I'm spending intentional focused time every single day just loving on those girls, getting to know them, watching their stories, interacting and engaging, commenting on their pictures. And I have like a pool of women that I'm really connecting with for like a good month. And then it naturally leads right into me inviting them to my next boot camp when I vibe with them. If there's someone that I don't connect with and I see their stuff and I'm like, yeah, we're not really vibing well, I'll just unfollow them, take them out of the collection and move on, okay? So that's how I do that. And so that's what you're gonna do. This whole time you're just gonna sort each person into wherever you want them to go, into a collection or onto your list. And while you're sorting, you're also going to comment and engage. I want you guys to be so proactive. If you're on your phone, if you're scrolling, you are leaving a trail wherever you go. You're commenting, you're no longer stalking, you are just being proactive and engaging with the people, all right? So make sure we're gonna spend this last big chunk of our time putting them in place, engaging on their stuff, and just do that with all of the girls that you just followed. And if you get through all of them, then you just can spend the rest of your time really connecting with either if you have past collections or people already in a collection, or your feed should be a solid prospect list in and of itself. We're just going to connect the whole rest of the time. Okay. All right, you guys, we have got 12 minutes left. I hope you guys got a ton done. I was trying to count because I never really keep track. I went through and I organized 42 and connected with all of those girls too, and then unfollowed 4 in the process. So it doesn't take long. Expanded over 50, connected with 42 new people, sorted them so that for the rest of the month I can be getting to know these girls. That's where you move the needle forward and really, really build genuine relationships with new people. Okay. I'll go through the questions in a second, but I finished off with connect without an agenda, invite like you have something that will change their life. So connecting is absolutely essential. Absolutely, we need to be genuinely connecting with human beings, especially people are more and more getting on social media because they crave that connection. They don't want to be sold to, but if they connect with you as the normal human being, and then they see you doing your workouts, and then they see you sharing your kids stuff, and then they see you sharing a recipe and they're struggling with whatever, that's when they will come in and say, hey, I've seen you doing this. Can you tell me more about it? Hey, I see that you work with women. Can you tell me, can you give me some info, right? So that's where the progression becomes so much more natural than just popping in these random inboxes and trying to get as many people invited as you can. Spend the time connecting, and then the invites don't take long once you have your solid base of people to go from, okay? And lots of times they'll randomly bring it up in the conversations themselves. So if you start to connect with someone, it lots of times comes up if they're seeing your stuff frequently and they start watching your stories. Hey, tell me about this program you're doing. Hey, tell me about that workout you do from home. I've never blah, 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 you know? Okay, let me bust through these questions really quick. I did not mean to do that. Hold on. Let me stop the share. Alrighty, and you can keep connecting if you're still going at it. Okay. Starting at the top, ignore my chaotic kids in the background. I have my nanny helper here. I'm not just ignoring them. Ruthie asked, can you talk about when to unfollow? I've heard it's not good to follow more than you are following, or more than are following you. So at the beginning, there's always going to be that imbalance. At the beginning, you're going to be following more than are following you. But you just need to frequently go through and just be super intentional about unfollowing the people who are not solid prospects. If you don't jive with their posts, if you're not connecting with them, who they are, whatever, unfollow them. Don't feel bad about it. They're not your person, unfollow. Hey, you guys need to go and stop being crazy. Okay. And then also, every couple weeks, I'll just go through my master list of who I'm following. and do kind of a clean out, like just based off of their profile picture. Sometimes people kind of sneak in there, and I just go through and unfollow anyone, like any dudes. I personally I think maybe I follow maybe 10 dudes out of my like 5,000 that I follow. So anyone that you wouldn't love to have in your groups, love to have on your team, or that you're just super inspired by, like maybe a fellow coach, don't follow them. Like it needs to be like, that is your storefront. That is your home base. That is what you're working from. So be super intentional about that. How do you put them into a collection or a list? So did you ask that before I shared it? I'm not sure. I'm going to skip that. And then if you still need it at the end, I can do it. Do you bookmark everyone or only the people who follow you back? I bookmark everyone. I could care less if they followed me back. I'm not concerned with that. If I find someone who I think is super rad, I want to follow them so that I can see their stuff come up in my feed. I want to follow them to support them and to show them that I'm interested in what they're putting out there. I'm not only following people to get a follow back. I'm following people because I want to make it easier on me to see their stuff and to love on them and to get to know them and to genuinely connect. All right. Do you comment or engage on their posts, even if their most recent one is like a month ago? Yeah, I totally do. Like I just had a girl who her most recent post was a Christmas post. I still commented it, but then she had happened to leave a story. She did one story today. So I engaged on the story too, and she already responded back. So even if they're not super actively posting, if they do stories, engage there, because lots of people don't post, but they do stories. Are collections available on a personal account? They should be. It's just bookmarking. You're simply bookmarking the images and saving it to a list. That's all it is. Most people, oh my gosh, hold on. Okay, they're playing Twister and getting a little wild and crazy. So yeah, a collection is like normal humans who aren't working on social media would use collections as like when they see a recipe they love, they would bookmark it, save it to the recipe collection. Like that's how they bookmark and save posts. We're just using it in a productive way that works for the business. Okay. Collections, you just go to one of their pictures and book. Yeah, you were answering. Perfect. I did the bookmark, but didn't see a place to add those photos. So yeah, when you bookmark it, it says save to. You have to then create a collection. So like that's where you would create Challenger collection or like March challengers or Dream Team or follow up. Like you can, wherever you want to go with it, you can go with it, but that's how you do it. What is your system for connecting? Every single day I spend like an hour a day only connecting, not responding to anything else, strictly connecting, just like we were doing. And I connect with my collections. Just I go through them over and over and over and over for the month. And I have hundreds of girls in there by the end of the month. And so just as many times as I can connect, I do. And then obviously the ones that do carry on a conversation, I dive deeper in with those girls. But I'm not worried about like, I have to touch their inbox 10 times before I send them an invite. Like I'm not concerned. I'm just connecting as much as I can. When it's time to invite, my entire collection will get an invite, inviting them to get some info about my virtual gym. Are your connections for March that you're doing now for the challenge group or coaching? So I have both. I have a challenge group collection and I have coach collections, and I invite to both. How do you interact with them after the initial contact if they do not post often or have stories? See, that's the tricky part. Like if they're not actively engaging, it's hard to proactively engage on their stuff. But that's why like the people who are active, you'll just naturally connect more with them. And the people who aren't active will kind of die out. So that's how you don't really get super overwhelmed, because it naturally fiddles its way out. Some people will kind of rise to the top and you'll continue building the relationship, and other people will kind of phase out and it won't really go anywhere. But that's fine. It's just kind of a numbers game. You can absolutely do this on Facebook. Like you could, same thing, however you want to expand. I used to create interest lists on Facebook, but then it stopped showing their content and it would only show like shared stuff and it was super messy. So I stopped doing it over there. Do you follow people that are clearly other MLMs like Young Living? Yeah, I still do, because I have lots of Rodan and Fields, Young Living as customers and discount coaches, because they still need the workouts and stuff like that. Yes. I have 280 followers and follow 800. Should I unfollow a lot? Natalie, I wouldn't stress about like the numbers. I would just unfollow anyone who is not a solid prospect. Like, don't stress about getting it down under a certain number or whatever. I would just make sure that they're there for a reason. Yay, Jill said it felt way easier than she expected. Not sure what I was so scared about. That's awesome. And you guys will get better and better at this. It really is like practice makes perfect. You'll find your flow. You'll find your rhythm. My 4-year-old is insane, you guys. Like, what is he screaming about right now? Veronica, yeah, I can share the slides. There's only like 4 slides, but I'll share it. Let me see if there's any more. Do you pick people based 100% on their pick and bio, regardless of whether their profile is public? Yes, even if they're not public, if they look like my type of girl, I still follow them and like will request to follow. And then I have my settings on my Instagram set so that I get a notification if I request to follow someone private and they accept it, it notifies me and tells me so-and-so is now your friend or something like that. I don't know what it says, but it notifies me. So then I can go in and sort them after that. How do I choose people to invite to coaching versus a challenge group? The majority of the people I invite are to my challenge group because I like to get them in the door that way. But if they're already sharing a health and wellness journey or they're already just a positive influence on social media, I'll absolutely invite them to coaching first and just be like, you'd crush it at this. Have you ever looked into it? Have you ever considered it? If they're not as active, I'll try moving them out of the collection. Yeah, good, Danae. Do you do the power hour next week on inviting? I love your process. Oh, can you do the power hour next week on inviting? Yeah, I can. It's not, yeah, I can. It's not anything fancy, but I can definitely do that. Perfect. How do you change the setting? I don't know. You go to your settings. Let me see. You go to settings, notifications, and then it says following and followers. Let me see. Accepted follow requests. You turn that on and then it notifies you when they accept your follower request. Okay. Good, you guys. Does anyone have a win they want to share before we jump off? Anyone do something scary you haven't done before? Did anything click for anyone? Good, Kate. If you guys want to unmute yourself and share, we can hear that too. Bailey already had 9 followers back. Woo woo. That's awesome. And you guys, that's the important part. While we're not out there to only follow them to get follow backs, that's ultimately where everything grows, right? We want them to stick around. We want to have content on our page that connects with them, that they think, oh, I want to continue to see this girl's stuff, because that's why over time they're going to watch our stories. They're going to get to know who we are. They're going to see us continually talking about our virtual gym, talking about coaching, talking about mom life, talking about whatever. And that's how over time you always have new people to help. You always have new people to talk to. And you literally, like, you guys going through that, like, it just excites me. I'm like, dude, there's so many girls I don't know even exist right now. I can connect with all of these people. Like, there's so many millions of people that their lives would be blessed with connecting a solution and getting it in their hands and getting to be a part of this. So like, just think of how many people do not know what this is yet and how your life is different since you started. Like, and that's what you need to show up and lead with every single day. Just find people to bless and to help and to inspire and to encourage, right? Okay, we're going to jump off. Good. I'm so glad it was helpful. You guys are awesome. Okay, see you guys in 2 weeks. I'll host it in 2 weeks. So see you back here. All right, see you guys.